Major psychiatric disorders like autism, schizophrenia and bipolar appear to have more in common than we thought they did. A new study finds that they have important similarities at a molecular level. And understanding the molecular basis of major disorders such as autism, schizophrenia and bipolar is hopeful, because it could help in developing better treatments for them. These psychiatric disorders are diagnosed by how a patient behaves. There are no clear signs on a brain that you can see with your eyes or most microscopic techniques, says Dan Geschwind, a professor of neurogenetics at UCLA. His team's findings were published in Science this week. That's different from brain diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, which physically change the brain. A doctor can look at a brain and say what the patient suffered from. But recent advances in genetics allowed the scientists to pinpoint the patterns of gene expression in the brain that are linked to these psychiatric disorders. In a large-scale study, they measured RNA in 700 tissue samples from the brains of people with autism, schizophrenia, bipolar, major depression and alcoholism, and compared them to tissue of people without these disorders. RNA can show which genes are turned on and off in the tissue. With these new genomic molecular measurements, we're actually able to understand what is shared and what is distinct about these disorders, says Geschwind. The researchers found that the way genes express themselves in patients with autism, schizophrenia and bipolar actually have a lot in common. Broadly, that includes fewer genes involved in signaling between neurons, and more genes related to neuroinflammatory cells. There are areas of clear divergence, too, an increase in genes related to